Also, our friends at TrueMark Financial Credit Union. Visit TrueMark.com or one of the 24 local branches to learn more. Now, Johnny, some of the fun of Radio Row is being able to speak to guests in person or sometimes see old friends.
We will have the guy who this guy drafted in his first draft, Matt Ryan, joining us tomorrow on the show.
That's awesome.
But he's a former NFL GM. He's the president of Sumer Sports. And Thomas Dimitroff is one of the most interesting guys. And I feel he learned a lot of NFL football from me over the years.
Yeah, from you specifically.
Thomas, welcome to the show. How are you, buddy?
Always great to be here. Good to see your face, man.
It is good to see you again.
Yeah.
I said it's a different NFL. You became a GM in 2008.
2008.
Right?
Yep.
What's the NFL like compared to 2008?
Oh, man, it is fast-paced. There's so much going. It is so different. In so many ways, it's so different. Just even the operation of bringing coaches together and GMs together and the firing and the moving, and it's just fast operational. If you're not on top of it, I think you don't have a chance. And you have to be aggressive. Howie Roseman, he's aggressive. He's one of the best here. You know that? I think it's great to watch.
Why don't people copy what – it's a copycat league, they always say. Why don't more people copy what Howie Roseman has done?
I just think there are guys out there who don't have the verve, the nerve as well, like the confidence to say, I'm going to do what I believe, and if it doesn't work, I'm moving forward. And that was one of the things we talked about with Howie. He's not one of those guys that's so worried about retention. People want to retain their moves and their acquisitions, but Howie, I just feel like if he sees it's not working, man, it's move on time. And he is always a guy that's going to be shucking and jiving to try to get to that spot where he's going to get a trade done, which I love.
Was part of you surprised that they did keep Nick Sirianni after last year? You mentioned it. I mean, it's a what have you done for me lately league, and at the end of last season, it was 1-6 down the stretch with a Super Bowl-type roster. Were you surprised that they retained him?
Andrew, I was surprised because I thought as my old head coach, I thought he was going to be right there because I know that, how he respects the hell out of Bill Belichick. In my mind, I was thinking that, only because I was putting pieces together. He's done a great job. It's great seeing Nick do what he's doing.
Oh, yeah.
But again, back to fast-paced and owners, I feel like let's move on, let's do things. And I know you guys have one of the best owners in the country, but I just expected something like that to happen.
So what's good, though? Like, is it good? Look at the success that the Eagles are having this year. A lot of people wanted him fired. He stays there back in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think he kicked everyone right back in the whatever we call it, right? I don't even know what I can say on the radio anymore.
You can say a lot of things. Private parts.
Okay, private parts. But I think he did. And he's such a competitive guy, and he's got, we all have a little FU to us, right? Like, all right, you guys going to doubt me? I mean, Howie's been saying that to me forever, right? He's got FU in him as well. I remember he was cussing some guy out on the field. Was that a year ago?
Yeah. Now you like me.
Yeah, now you like me, right?
I remember back in the day when Thomas would occasionally tell me, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about here. Let me tell you what really happened. And it's one of those things where today in the NFL, things are changing very quickly. And it seems like what we thought of it, like you say, Bill Belichick, a guy you have a PhD in working with and working under. It's a different NFL today, though. Nick Sirianni, he could end up being this generation's Bill Belichick right now with the start he's off to.
It's unbelievable. I mean, again, watching the organization and what Philadelphia does and the tone they set for everyone, and then coming back again with that agitation and that confidence and sort of like, I just don't see that often around the league. You get pockets of it right now, but I mean, how many teams right now are in those spots like Cleveland right now? They are asking for, they're one of the best players in I don't know how many years is asking for a trade. You don't think Andrew Barry and Kevin Stefanski, who are good, smart people, aren't up against it right now? Can they deal with that? Philadelphia people can deal with it, right? The Philadelphia employees can deal with it.
Yeah, we could deal with it just fine. I'm curious. You spent a lot of years in Atlanta. Obviously, you had to deal with this guy next to me, John Kincade.
I handled him well.
The Eagles have drafted a lot of players from the Atlanta, Georgia area with the Georgia Bulldogs, the young dogs with Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith and Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean. Is it that easy to go, hey, let's get the top players from the best teams in college when it comes to the draft? Because you're seeing it really pay off for the Eagles, but I don't know if it's that easy. You could speak on that better than we can.
I don't think it's that easy, but look, you have to go to where the best competition is. Of course, you're going to have your anomalies, right? There's some of those small school guys that just got passed up, late development. A lot of times that is O-line, right? Mm-hmm. Where that's happening. I mean, I love what Howie does that way. I mean, this is not all about a Howie stroke fest. I get it, but what he's done, And I got my ass kicked in Georgia. You know that.
Yes.
Because
of not doing it.
Because of not doing. But it wasn't calculated. That's the one thing. I think sometimes people think, well, it's just completely thought out. Yes, it is. But sometimes you're just going and it falls into place.
Right.
And I think the Georgia players that you guys have at Philadelphia, man, you're exactly right. They're thriving.
Now, you are thriving in a whole nother way of looking at football, and Sumer Sports is a really interesting analytics tool. I tend to cringe a little bit when I think of analytics.
I know you do.
So explain to us what it is and how it could potentially help things, and which maybe teams are using it the best.
So we have Sumer Sports is who I'm working for, as you know. Been there for 3 years. We are a roster optimization. Okay, so that should get you to a comfortable spot. First of all, John, this isn't game time decision making, although we have an arm of it working on that. And there are a lot of third parties out there. We are, we think, one of the best third parties with roster optimization. Subjective, we have 25 former NFL people working on our staff now. Paul Tudor Jones, the founder, big money guy, right? Big guy out of UVA. He keeps providing me with the resources to hire. We have 5 former general managers, a whole bunch of scouts, a whole bunch of player personnel people who do all the subjective work. Over 3,000 reports a year we evaluate. That subjective evaluation provide the foundation for all of our propeller heads. And I say that lovingly. They're friends of mine. I love some of our guys here, all of them.
Right.
They take all of that data and then fold in extra data and create these algorithms and models. I am not a modeling guy now. I haven't learned to code. What I have learned...
You are well-dressed, but you are not a modeling guy.
But what I have learned is implementation.
Sure.
And so implementation, think about this. Yes, it is not black box. It is not, that's the most ridiculous thing in the world. This is about augmentation. That's the best word I can use. Take the information there, compare in your areas. If you're breaking down free agency, if you're breaking down draft picks, take the data, compare it, juxtapose in your meetings and say, why is data saying he's a 6'8" and the scouting eye is saying he's a 6'5"? Let's do extra work.
What does the data tell you about the Birds' chances to give us a parade next week?
Yeah, well, look, that's what I've been saying around here. I mean, it's saying obviously on the statistical side that the Eagles have the edge on it. It's going to be a very close game. This is Sumer brain.
Close games, right?
Yeah, this is Sumer AI brain is what we call it, and it is saying the edge is going to Philly. I think it's a 3-point edge is what I'm thinking.
That's what I've been saying. Jake Elliott, game-winning field goal, man.
If it's Jake Elliott, I might puke.
Oh, jeez.
Curious, real quick, one more thing. We appreciate the time. Analytics in the Super Bowl, more so on the field analytics, like go-for-it situations. How often does that just go out the window because it's the Super Bowl and touchdowns matter more so than field goals? Like, does analytics sometimes go out the window because you're usually go in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, look, we experienced it, and you might be bringing this right back around to 2016. I mean, could we have used analytics better there, or did we quietly use analytics to not run that damn ball instead of run, kick back in the day?
Right.
So, yeah, there's a lot going on.
I always remember Kyle fondly.
Yeah, no, I get it. And
what's up, guys? Andrew Salciunas, my man John Kincade. You better be following us along all week long, because starting Wednesday and through the rest of the week, we got you covered from Radio Row, Johnny.
And it's going to be great because if you follow on our YouTube channel and you like and you subscribe, you're going to get all the great interviews and some of the little fun stuff we're doing behind the scenes to take you along with us to Super Bowl 59.
Yeah, obviously you can watch the entire show from 6 to 10, but all those shorts that we'll be doing. John and I are going to be walking around Bourbon Street. John might be carrying me around Bourbon Street.
That could happen.
So we're going to have a lot of fun, and we'll bring it to you.
And be sure to subscribe and like on everything on YouTube, and check out our socials too. We got you covered.
Absolutely. Thanks.